All right, guys, we're going to gloss over the intro so we can hop back into this. Game number 2, version 2. If you are watching this, this is a rematch because game number 2 ended up being a tie. Some people are saying Polt got robbed that game. Some people are saying Major deserved to win. I don't know where you stand on your opinions, but the bottom line is that it's a rematch, and we're seeing this game for the second time. Now, it's the same spawn locations. We definitely have different openers, though. So spawning here at the bottom central portion of the map, it's Polt, who's staying at home.
In the top position, as the blue Terran, it is Major.
All right, so Major, I mean, okay, there's a lot of things to be said about the game. They both made so many really cool moves, but I think it was like around that 4th drop, I finally said, like, it's going to come down to a game of throws, and there were a lot of instances where, oh, so many bad things happened, right, for both players. Yeah. But ultimately, if Polt didn't let that CC burn, I think he would have had a much better chance to win that game.
Yes.
But that is just such a hard thing for someone like him to assess. Like, you cannot assess that situation. He doesn't have observer vision like we do.
On the flip side, if Major had gotten a Viking, would he have been able to win? Like, it would have been a game of Viking chase buildings. And I think there was more than one building for Polt, so probably not. There's like 2 barracks and a factory or something.
Yeah, something I want to go over too. Folks are saying, like, if only Major had built a Viking instead of a Banshee, he would have won that game. That's actually not necessarily true. The amount of time it would have taken the Viking to fly around the map and dodge the Marines and then kill a building, the stall timer may have actually already ticked. So there was a lot of what ifs for sure. I can't say there was one moment, especially towards the last 5 minutes of that game. There's a lot of one moments that could have gone differently, but I think what we need to look at is the way game number 2 is going to go again. We have a Reaper opener for Polt, which I don't think is bad, but I do like this earlier CC coming out of him instead of the 1-1-1 build.
Yeah, okay. Still kind of reeling off the back of the last one. But it is still 1-0 for Major. Major is up in this series, and to be honest, he looked like he had a very good part to 2-0 in about the middle of that last game. So, still favoring Major here just a little bit. As you were talking about, Polt doesn't seem like the undeniable god that he used to be. And Major seems to be, well, he's recovered since losing against Lilbo in the Lycan League today. Or, you know, hashtag not Protoss.
I feel, though, well, we're kind of making these cracks at Polt not being Zeus, but being more like Hercules. It's still not a bad thing. The game definitely felt like it was heating up as time went on, and maybe Polt was just not completely warmed up when the series started. Whatever the case may be, I definitely have faith in him to bring this back. Like, if there's somebody who's going to, after a game like that, bring it back and win, take us to an actual game number 3 instead of a fake game number 3 like we're currently in, I would put my money on Polt.
Okay, alright, well. Maybe I'll take a bet. No, I won't. Alright, $82.
Yeah, $2 deep, man. You can't.
That was my Starbucks drink.
That was my salary.
We have the Reapers finally passing each other and just trying to get a scout.
Nice.
Like Major will die. They will.
Yeah, Polt could definitely get up there and scout, and if he does, he'll see that Banshee. Timing for that could be really nice, but unlike last game, he doesn't need to get that Illuminati perfect trifecta of turrets. With Marines, Mobile, and possibly a scanner too, he should be okay to deal with it.
These Reaper survives. I don't know why they both decided to go up the ramp when there is still quite a bit of space on Van Nuys Research Station, but they both did. So, whatever. No scouting, really, despite having the Reapers. Looks like he doesn't see what Major's doing. Yeah. So the Banshee would be a surprise. Looks like it's going to go over the Reaper. That's nice.
Yeah, at least the Reaper sucks, but it reveals what's coming. And with the Raven on the way, follow-up to this, I like that, you know, Major's not going to have to worry about a counter Banshee, but Polt doesn't really have a counter Banshee.
Whoa.
A really cleverly positioned Widowmine might get a hit. It won't kill the Banshee, but it will take it down to, like, one-shot range.
I mean, you basically have to go home after it.
15 health. Yeah. Viking. Oh, completely.
Complete waste. That's revenge for the Overgrowth game.
That was the sickest combo, by the way, just now. It's so subtle, and rarely does that happen, but on one hand for Polt, that was some great predictions on where the Banshee would approach from. It could have really gone any different direction, but that combined with that Viking was just perfect.
Yep. It really, really was. So now we have Polt with the faster command center. He's up by 4 workers. The army supply is still even, but we can see there's a big bank for Polt right now. It does look a lot like the last game. Sorry, the first game. Overgrowth game. God, stupid ties.
But it's like when you're trying to write beginning and you keep spelling it wrong, so you're like begin. No, starting.
Basically.
There we go.
But, you know, we might just see Polt suddenly climb up in that supply. Does it matter? Because they can just base trade again, of course.
I would love if that happened. It's so unlikely, but it is possible that we get like... Oh, my camera's all messed up. One sec, guys. There we go. No, that didn't fix it at all. There we go. Sorry about that. If you hit the wrong keys as an observer, you can permanently tilt your camera, and it is quite irritating.
Ew. Well, this drop is potentially going to kill some SCVs. There's 1 tank and only 2 Marines, so they just need to avoid the tank a little bit and they'll be fine. But the Banshee might be able to do some damage. Oh, there's a wood mine in here.
I'm going to soften up a lot of the SCVs. Of course, not like hitting drones, but it's also something that's going to have to be scanned to be taken care of. Major can't ignore this. Meanwhile, while the Banshee comes across the map, there is a Viking still at home. There's a turret for detection. He might not even have to burn scans, but hell, he'll do it anyways. He's feeling pretty good.
Major really is down quite a bit. You know, now 15 workers.
Is Polt going to target the Widowmine, or is he going to just go off on the Marine? Oh, if he goes off on the Marine anyways. Oh, tank-friendly fire. That's a bit of a thing.
Tank's fault right there. You know, 15, yeah, still 15 workers is quite a big difference. I mean, if it's 10, I'd be like 1 good drop, you know? But 15 is pretty good. What I thought Major might do, if he realizes he is so low on workers, is go for a much faster 3rd CC, but he doesn't. He goes for the production.
So much for the Banshee.
These Banshees are not lucky. They should have realized that on the Overgrowth game.
I like Polt having air control. It's a little unfortunate he's going to miss his drop. Same location at a Major. Deja vu.
I wish he would get maybe a little bit better of a spot, like maybe more near the gas geyser. But, oh well.
Polt's not actually going to evacuate this time. The nice thing is with the Viking count as big as it is, it's going to force out...
Turrets.
You want turrets, right? But he might just go for the point of defense drone to try and keep alive.
Anything? Like, either one is fine, okay? But something.
Seeker missiles on the tanks even. Like, yeah, anything is nice. But looks like the Raven, very expensive unit, will die. Polt did lift the command center, so it wouldn't... It looks like he will clean this up. Not too many losses taken through this. Polt actually with 1337 minerals lost right now. I think that's pretty apt and pretty descript.
Nice. We do have the workers finally even up again, but of course Major takes a big dip in his army supply.
Well, normally we could talk in mirror matchups, PvP specifically and especially, that's a pretty big deal. But we've seen time in and time out, tank fires, friendly fire, splash damage. I mean, it can go a long way to evening out 10 or even 15 army supplies. So right now it's not that scary. You know, Polt's got a big army, but he can't drop it all. He's going to have to push up that ramp, and that's a really great defensive position for Major.
Yeah. But, you know, once again, Polt has the much faster combat shields. Stim is just finishing up and he's never gotten any of their upgrades, as well as the much faster +1. So, like, you know, you're right. He's not going to be able to push up there, but if he ever gets an opportunity, like a good drop that Major doesn't quite see, and all of his units get unloaded, he'll take a pretty good fight.
Well, we assessed the actual units lost so far, and I mean, Major's definitely taking heavier hits, but his army supply is not looking too bad. 3 tanks, 17 Marines. Does he have stim? No stim. Finishes in a second, though.
Yeah, it's close, but, you know, he still won't have combat shields. His Marines will be drastically inferior.
So an interesting thing just happened with that tank fire to start. There was 1 Marine over here to the left, and the tanks actually wasted their first volley on that Marine instead of the tanks in the high ground. So for Polt's sake, that goes really poorly, and he had passed in his air control, but now that's gone, and there's just no way he can fight near this ledge. Oh, tank, please.
That was very nice.
Major's getting quite, I'm not going to call that lucky, but good engagements.
There's a little bit of luck for sure. Polt does slap down that 3rd command center, and I gotta wonder when or if Major will. Or if he's gonna go basically like all in on the 2 bases. But with him already having to be defensive, knowing that his economy wasn't as good, I don't know if like going for the 2 base, just like hope I win with it, is going to work.
So through the experience of us casting in the Alima League, one thing we've got to witness are players like Marine King, classically greedy players, show you just how good a third CC can get you ahead in a TVT.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm feeling good about this for Polt, but at the same time, this is a really scary army out of Major.
I don't know why Major stimmed on top of that Widowmine.
Oh, he's pushing in. No medevacs, no combat shields.
Yeah, and already pre-simmed. Everything went wrong there. He's got to worry about this drop, though. I mean, Marines with medevacs in a kind of weird
hell of a
location.
drop. That's a hell of a drop.
And he's not expecting it. Oh, no. Well, he has units close, but not quite in position.
He scans the main Polt. He does. Major will see this dropping now. That is a hell of a lot of Marines, but honest to goodness, he might just be able to focus down the command center. Major doesn't want to engage him directly.
Oh,
As Major keeps retreating back and trying to bait to tank fire, Polt's just going to keep doing a lot of damage. Command center might go down. There's the repair. He's starting to run back. The tank's advancing forward little bit by little bit, but getting closer to the turret, getting closer to anti-air. Polt's drop is pretty much at the end of its life, but it killed so many SCVs from Major.
Yeah, and did not trade out that poorly against the Marines. He didn't need any tanks, but in the end, he was okay. So it's still an even army supply. Polt has better upgrades going on 2-2.
Now it's 32 SCVs dead, though. That was a pretty big flipping deal for someone who didn't really have that fast third CC. Replenishing that number's kind of out of the question, whereas Polt is going to be extending his lead and taking his own third soon.
Yeah, it kind of seems like Major's dead. If he got a third CC now, that'd be great, fine, but Polt, you know, the weakness of getting your own third CC is way, way past now for Polt. He's totally fine.
Yeah, the really nice thing, though, is if Major does lose this game, it just means more of these guys. So map 3 will get played out. But it looks like it's going to be an all-in. All the Marines, all the tanks coming across the map. He hasn't pulled the boys by any means, but he doesn't really have a lot of means behind this. He's trying to get +1 armor, but I'd be surprised if that even finishes this game. Polt, in the meantime, is going for a big Doom drop, and he actually leaves him somewhat exposed at home to drops. There's not that many Marines to cover this, and with the amount of medevacs he has, he might be able to unload on top of Polt's siege tanks.
It's going to be another base trade, except that this time Major won't have any defense at home. Like, what does he have in his main waiting?
Oh, look at the shot off over there. Looks like the Viking, a couple shots. Drags all the Marines, you're right. There's not a lot of defense at home, but he does. He's going to try and base trade it out. Sensor tower, not that helpful. Not able to focus down the medevacs. Gets one of them before they unloads. Takes out a large portion of the Marines, and looks like Polt is going to hold this. GG. We're going to go to an actual game number 3. Woo!
Nice.
Weirdly and oddly enough, that